Sabak with the Misfits, episode 12. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. We got everybody here. We got Mando Who Reads is back.
Woo!
We're going to be talking about, we're actually going to be breaking down the movies, the saga, plus Solo and Rogue One, giving our 1 through 11, see how it goes. But first, we're going to start with news, as we always do. We got Dark Star. Looks like he's running a flea market booth, but we're going to start giving us your news.
These two right here are on discount.
Ruben and Buckets, what's up? Aquamando, what's up?
All right, so let's start with the news. We got Celebration news. Some more actors have been announced. We have I'm gonna butcher everyone's names. I'm sorry if I meet you there.
What else is new?
Yeah. We got Orly Shostan, who is Shakti. Tim Rose, Akbar. Kevin Thompson, who is a one of the Ewoks. Jet Lucas, who's the guy who fucking you know that scene. Margot. I'm not even gonna try that last name, but she's another Ewok. Ooh.
What, from the original trilogy Ewok?
Yeah, she
Okay.
Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Yeah, she's Toket.
You got Ashley. What's her name? The one that plays the Blue Twi'lek. What is her character's name? Begins with an A.
They announced that. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, she's on there.
Damn. I didn't see her yet. But,
Well, who else you got?
we got Emily Swallow. Just announced today. Emily Swallow, the armor.
Okay.
Katie Sackhoff. And like here's a weird thing. I don't know if you saw like that announcement, but like her picture just it doesn't look like her.
Yeah, it didn't. When I first saw her, I was like, that's not her. And then I was like,
wait a minute.
it's definitely an old
Katie
shot.
Sackhoff?
Yeah, it's an old shot.
Look,
for sure.
look at her picture with the announcement and everything. It doesn't look like her. Like,
She photographed weird. Sometimes she looks, I don't know, like
completely different. Yeah, it's strange.
yeah. And we got the main man Billy D.
Can't
All
have
right,
a celebration
Billy D.
without him.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
And a friend of the show. It's not announced yet, but he put it on his own page. Dominic Pace.
Yep.
Okay, Dominic. All right, nice.
We got also have authors. Pretty much everyone with the what the series going on right now. The
Which one? Oh, High Republic. Yeah.
We got Daniel Jose Older, Charles Soule. He's done other things as well, which is neat. Claudia Gray,
Cool guy.
Justina Ireland, and Cavan Scott. Yeah. So that's that for celebration. Well, not all the celebration news, but people being announced this week.
Mm-hmm.
So, other celebration news. David Collins is going to be hosting a Bad Batch thing on
The panel?
Sunday.
Okay.
And you said that they started a release for the website Lite for ticket resale. So if you didn't get your tickets, you can get back on there and grab some while they're there.
Right.
I think there's only 4-day passes left, which are like $299, I believe.
On the actual website.
On the website. No, the resale site. I think it's 4-day passes for $299 still up.
Well, they just launched that today. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, David Collins is going to be hosting Bad Batch on the Sunday, the 29th. There's going to be special guests, voice actors with that and everything. On Saturday, the 28th, Filoni and Favreau are going to be doing a whole Mando thing.
That's gonna be good.
That'd be
Woo!
amazing
Yeah.
to see in person.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait for that one. Dude,
I
these
swear, Jon Favreau needs to get into that heavy Mando suit at some point.
oh
Oh man,
yo,
you should just come out on
on
stage
stage.
wearing it, right?
I know, right? That
Yeah.
would be awesome.
hell yeah. All right, that's it for oh shit. Is that it? No, the 26th, day one. We're getting a live action showcase of like everything movies, everything that's been live action Star Wars.
Wow.
We're gonna get a live action showcase with special guests. So who knows who's gonna show up with this one? Because they're saying it's gonna be everything.
Okay, so like a big montage kind of thing.
Yeah. Hopefully, I won't be in line for this one. Still waiting to get in. Like I'm sitting there on my phone, like with everybody else, just like watching the live stream, just trying to get the goddamn thing in
Yeah.
Orlando. But yeah, as we were saying, Adult Friday is sold out as of today, but they're going to be offering tickets. You can actually request days that you would want, and they will let you know through this light thing. Not exactly sure how that works, but like that's pretty cool. Like if you want to go Saturdays, like I want a Saturday ticket, and they'll send you an email and just be like, "Yo, one's available right now," and you can go up and grab it.
God,
Okay.
so tempting. So tempting.
Like
It's just getting a hotel and the flight and all that. Like,
Right.
if it was in
Yeah.
Orlando, I would be here, but like, or be there. California's just so far away and so expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
I already got the hotel.
I know. I should bring a sleeping bag, and that just
All right.
Yeah, the after party in Chris's room.
Hell. All right. That does it for celebration news. Finally,
Wait, there's more?
Lego.
Lego.
The Star Wars saga came out. Does anyone have it yet?
No, I want to buy it. It looks so. I was on the fence because I can't drop. I hate dropping money on like games, and I am very tempted to buy this one because it looks so much fun.
Dude, so I got it with my kids, and like it is an absolute blast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the we even put on the mumble mode that they have to like.
Yeah.
It is hilarious. Like the game is so well done. I mean, the gameplay and like how you interact with it is so much better. I mean, it's fantastic.
Now, can you jump from like movie to movie, or does
Yeah.
it go?
So at least, I mean, we just barely have played it, like maybe a day or two tops. But yeah, so like when you first start the game up, you have the choice of starting at the beginning of each of the trilogies. So you could start at 1, 4, or 7. And then you got to unlock the other ones as you play through. But it's like open world, like you can like all the places you've opened so far, you can just like go to. Outside of the story and interact with whatever challenges they have there. The characters interact with each other, which is hilarious. Like I've been seeing a lot of things where like you can like choose your character, like General Grievous and Darth Maul have like a funny interaction. Like if your partner's Darth Maul and you choose Grievous, like Grievous will make a comment about how awesome his lightsaber is, and he just wants to touch it real quick. So like there's just like real funny like little things like that, and it's awesome.
And when you're
I sent you guys the other day. It's just like where like the protocol droids. It's like, oh, this is a Tusken Raider camp.
Right.
Not only the men, but the women and the children.
Right. Right.
I love those goofy little nods like that.
Yeah.
and you bounce
Yeah,
between
I'm
like
looking forward
characters,
to it.
right? So
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So you got to unlock them, but like you can switch out characters at any point in time. You can transfer characters. You can play 2-player, which I thought they didn't really mention, but because you're partnered up with a partner in it, and you can either be like an AI or you can dual screen it.
really?
It's only
Yeah, the
local.
dual screen's cool.
Only local co-op.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can dual screen,
That's
which is
still
great
pretty
for
cool,
kids
though.
because they love playing together.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I do have one thing. Like I've been watching a playthrough, like just like here and there. I just have it on in the background. I'm just getting notes and everything. Like when you're in battles, one thing that's bothering me is like you don't have like the capes. Have you noticed that?
The capes.
Like
For
if you're playing if you're playing as a Jedi and they're supposed to have their robes on and everything, like it's like on the Lego. Like you don't have.
oh,
Huh.
Or like a print, like it's printed on the Lego itself.
gotcha.
Yeah, it just I don't know. Like it looks kind of weird. Like,
Yeah, put a cloth over it or something. Something.
Right.
that's kind of bothered me like so far. But otherwise, like I'm loving watching it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing a playthrough.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fun.
What else you got?
What else we got? All right. Hasbro. You guys seen the releases?
Yes,
Lots.
yes.
Lots of releases.
Lots. Of, I don't think I need to really go through all of them. I do have it written down if you want to do that.
There's
We
a
have to
helmet.
go-
I will
We'll
say
go
that.
through
There's
the
a
main
helmet.
ones.
Yeah, let's what are you guys excited for though?
We know what was it, last week or the week before, we were talking about Saw Gerrera, and they
Right.
announced him.
Yeah.
It's about time.
So,
Right.
There it is, and that thing looks beautiful.
I
Yeah.
am getting a little irritated with Hasbro and their marketing with it because they're selling the Saw Gerrera one as a deluxe figure, but it's just
Mhm.
him with his gun,
Yeah.
like, or his staff and a gun. I think like there's no
Right.
deluxe like the Bubba Deluxe at least had like the flamethrower and like a
Yeah.
jetpack and a bunch of stuff, but Saw it's just his character. Like I don't know why it's a deluxe figure. It looks huge. I mean the
Well,
armor and
so-
it looks big, but I don't know if I'd classify it as a deluxe figure. But it's great. to have.
Hopefully the production version will come with a couple more things. You know.
Right. Well, and they also announced that Tapper Wolf helmet.
yeah, what is that, like the 5th repaint on that helmet?
Yeah, right.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
They've burned through the Bubba helmets, and they've burned.
I saw a lot of complaints on that. It's just repaint.
Right.
yeah, I do want to get that though, just because I want Dave to sign that, and then
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And I like the wolf and symbols on it and all that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole repaint, they need to come up with something, a new helmet. Give us a scout
Right.
trooper or a clone trooper or something else.
Well, they have that rumored clone one, which would be awesome to break the mold with. I mean,
Yeah.
they had the Bo-Katan ones coming out. That's a different mold. But yeah,
That would be
I mean, they've burned through the Bubba Stormtroopers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just repaint capabilities.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what they do with the helmets.
Yeah.
A dark
What?
trooper.
Like how many?
for those the Dark Trooper troop building.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely that one.
Right.
Oh, here's another one. So like yeah, like we were talking, it's like finally we're getting Saw Gerrera. They're finally like in the pipeline thing. Like at the end of the show and everything. You're like, oh, this is in the pipeline. They're finally making Mayfield.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Mayfield, yeah.
where the hell's that character been? Like
Yeah. He's long overdue too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of these. Well, I think with COVID, they like a lot of the production just kind of halted, and they were
Yeah.
kind of just doing the repaints because they were easier than like making a whole new mold type deal. But I don't know.
Right.
They need to start doing new stuff. It just get new ideas, new stuff. I mean, it just needs to happen.
And I'm hoping the Mayfield news is an indication that we'll see more of him, right?
Right.
Like why promote a figure that only appeared in 2 episodes, right?
oh, he's
Right.
I feel like he's definitely going to show up again because he just kind of went off and did his own thing. Like it's just like
Right.
just go.
Right.
Like how,
Yeah, yeah. We'll see you. We'll call you when we need you.
yeah, exactly. One thing that I saw that was weird. You saw like we're getting in the what is it, the 3.75 line. We're getting Figure and Dan, but you can
Oh yeah,
Right.
you can only order 2. Like so you can't make the whole band.
like you need the whole bang. What the
Yeah.
hell?
Like what? What? I mean, that's what making different email accounts are for, I guess.
They should
Yeah,
sell
right.
that in those box sets that you can get of like the Black Series characters.
Yeah.
But I mean, for a 3 point,
Just wait for that to come out.
yeah.
Right.
Do you want?
Right. It should be like the original Kenner Jabba's band
Right.
place, like, where you can get the whole band
Yeah.
with all the instruments.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, they've got the throne room set that's coming out for the 3.75. So I mean, that would be a cool addition to it. Kind of build a
Right.
whole palace thing.
Oh, this is a pretty cool thing. One of my buddies surprised me with when we were in Orlando for my wife's interview. Check out this bad boy.
Oh,
Throne room.
Right. Speaking of Legos, right?
right.
Yeah.
Hell,
Oh man, I haven't bought myself a Lego in forever, and he gave me that one. I was like, that's gonna be fun.
That's awesome.
But yeah. So, what else you got, Chris?
that's it for figures. Unless you want to talk more.
I think we're good on the figures. We gotta get in the juicy stuff.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I do have one more celebration thing at the end. I forgot because it was just like 2 hours ago they fucking put this shit on Twitter. Photo and autographs are now available to buy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. I mean, like I don't one up and Ian McDermott, like that's the one I'm trying to go for.
Mhm.
His autograph is going to be 40, and a photo opportunity is going to be 150.
Okay.
So, I know everybody
see that.
saw that Daisy Ridley obviously reactivated her Instagram after like 6
yeah, no,
years.
I have that.
Yeah.
I forgot about
So,
Good for her. Good for
yeah,
her.
I mean,
glad
she
that-
got ran out just like every other Star Wars actor that anyways, we're not going to get into that, but she's back.
Yeah.
Do you think she's going to show up at Celebration?
There's
I-
been a lot of rumors about like the sequel type stuff to the
Yeah,
Yes.
so
I-
she may be
I
in the
think
works.
sent her a
Right.
said, like, you know what? You might want to like come back to social media for a minute. And,
Yeah. Yeah, they could be pushing her to, establish her presence again.
yeah. Like, and I don't blame them, but like, I just love that she's back, and like that first photo
Yeah.
with the glasses on and shit, like
Yep.
hilarious. Like,
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping, what's her name? Rose Tico? What was her name?
Kelly.
yeah.
Tran.
Kelly
Kelly.
Marie Train, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hoping she comes back, man. I really liked her. She
Yeah,
was-
she's another one that got bullied out of it, and it's sad. But
it sucks.
they'll make their way back. Maybe she's trying to see how Daisy Ridley is going to get, and I mean, I feel like she's getting a lot of love. So
yeah.
hopefully they start coming back. I mean, it's
Look at all the hate that Hayden Christensen got,
Right.
when the prequels came out. And now he's like, oh, I can't wait to see him again. Please, everybody.
Ahmad Best. I mean, he's
Yeah.
Oh,
doing TV shows and stuff now. I mean, like,
dude, in
Right.
2019, when I was in Chicago, like he got a standing ovation when he came on stage and everything. Like it was great. Like the whole, like I was on the floor at the time when he came out on stage, and everyone, it was just like, yes, like
yeah.
fuck,
That's
Art.
awesome.
dude, like hell,
It just sucks that most of the negative comments and words and stuff are the ones that are most heard rather than like the positivity and stuff. So
Right.
just the online bullying type deal behind a keyboard. But
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm still trying to get Daisy Ridley to react to something that I share of hers because
Right.
that was my day. I mean, she saw my story and I was like, just like it, do something, like say what's
Right.
up, say hi, give me a wave, like something.
Right.
Yeah.
That was enough for me. But she's awesome. I'm glad she's back. But if she goes to Celebration, Chris, you're gonna have to get an autograph or something for me.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to get an exclusive interview for
Yeah.
the
That's
podcast.
$100 autograph. Like, honestly.
You could be like, or just kidnap her. Be like, what was it, Borat, when he tries to kidnap Pamela Anderson at some convention?
I mean, you have the same birthday.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way you get her going.
That's the icebreaker.
Get her on
Right.
the podcast. That's your goal.
Yep. That's your mission.
Yeah.
Right.
So what else you got? We don't want to get too far off track.
That's pretty much it. But if anyone in the Philadelphia area and wants to hang out this weekend, Philly Fan Expo is going on. So if you want to come by, pick up some stickers and what,
There you go.
come
There you
hang.
go.
I'll be
All
there.
right. So we got a couple comments in here while we're going through the news that I want to catch back up on. We have Wave Runner. His name is Alex. He was talking with me last weekend, and he has a leaked footage of Darth Vader and Kenobi dueling. So we'll have to check out that link.
Don't want to see
Oh.
that yet. I've heard.
Okay. All right. We won't watch that. Somebody tried to leak Awkward Mando, Maul, and Ahsoka, but we found out that was a fan-made video, so that
Yeah.
kind of is nice because it was kind of a spoiler, but is what
Right.
it is.
Yeah, there was another photo I think released today of showing the actors in that photo
No,
close up, and you can see it's
they were
definitely
amazing costumes. I
Yeah.
mean,
good,
Right.
great costumes.
and then Snazzy. I'm always down to meet people at Disney anytime I'm there. So next time I'm in the area, I'll hit you up. I'm sorry, I thought about it later. Awkward. Yeah, you gotta give us like a spoiler alert just in case that's real. He's like, hey, you guys see this? And he just throws it out there. So, Chris, is that it for the news?
That's it for the news. I think we covered everything. Let's
All
get
right.
ready.
This is when we start getting all the viewers dropping off from our ranking
Yeah.
of films.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Prepare to get bullied.
Yep.
It's fighting.
Now, I love all the Star Wars movies, so my rankings, don't take them with a grain of salt. I love them all. I'll watch them all. Every single one of them has its flaws, of course,
Yes.
but I still love them, and this is kind of just how the ones I watch the most of. So if somebody has something that's different than you, don't have comments and try to tell them they suck, they don't know what they're talking about or anything like that in the comments. But if you want to in the comments, you can put what your top 11 is. It is including Solo and Rogue One. So we're going to start from the bottom. We're going to do 11, 10, 9. So we'll go around and we'll give our, obviously, the bottom. If you want to talk about it, you can explain it a little bit. And then we'll move on from there. So we're going to start with Golden. He's the top right on my screen, so we'll start with him. Go
All
for
right.
it.
So my number 11, The Phantom Menace.
Damn.
Phantom Menace.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Started with the prequels. So yeah, I mean, I remember the excitement. I mean, it was just palpable. It was a thing, man. And I was super excited, and I loved the movie. And you said it right. I loved it. It's just my least favorite of the whole saga. So I thought it brought in so many fantastic elements. I just thought the pacing was a little off. The humor wasn't really what we were used to. We didn't have that banter from the original trilogy. I think for me it was such a departure from the original trilogy. So while it was a great movie, it just didn't meet certain expectations. And then with them killing off Darth Maul, it was like, damn, he was so freaking cool, you know? I mean, we know he didn't die now, but spoiler alert for anyone that didn't watch the animated series. But it was still fantastic, and I mean, the lightsaber battle at the end, it redefined what we came to expect of lightsaber battles moving forward.
Yeah. And what about your number 10?
Oh, my number 10.
Yeah, we're gonna do
So
11,
number
10, 9. So you got.
All right, so number 10 was Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
I loved it as well. I just thought that it was too fan servicey. They tried to correct, I guess, some of the story direction that was made in The Last Jedi, which I thought was a cop out. But still a good, entertaining movie. It wrapped up the story. Left open the door for, for future stories. And it was exciting. It was great. We got to see Lando again. And one thing that I really enjoyed, which made it kind of hard to rank at 10, was the dynamic between the three main characters. We got to see Poe, Rey, and Finn together in the Falcon going off on an adventure, kind of like what we saw with the original cast in the original trilogy. So that was really fun. And then my number 9 is Attack of the Clones. Great movie again. So you have 2 prequel movies in the bottom in the bottom of my list. But I think that one, it was just a little sloppy in the pacing. Dialogue. Oh my God, the dialogue. Let's not even go there. But
You're trapped.
but it was great to see Anakin's progression, that slow descent to the dark side, the relationship with Padme, and then the beginning of the Clone Wars, the clones and that battle on Geonosis and Yoda freaking flipping. I remember I was flipping out in the theater when I saw Yoda. As soon as I saw him pull back and grab the lightsaber, I was like, oh shit, no way is he about to start fighting. So yeah, that blew my mind. But still, out of all of them, it's not my top.
Okay. Dark Star, Chris?
All right. Jeez. All right. So, bottom of the bottom is Attack of the Clones for me. Shoddy, and I'm getting bored through the whole movie, into the end. It's just give me that. The battle on Geonosis, Yoda fucking whipping the shit out. I'm just like, what? I'm in the theater, exactly what you said. It's just you fucking whipping out his lightsaber and shit. I was like, fuck, man, yeah, hell. But otherwise, it's just the movie is so goddamn clunky. I mean, yeah, Hayden is a new actor. This is one of his first roles. I think he was 18 at the time. And I don't know, it's just bad writing, if you want to say, but I don't know, it is what it is. It happened. It's got its place. Next one, Solo.
Okay.
A lot of people are going to hate that one. But yeah, that's also got its place. I and I've said this on a previous podcast that I like it as a Western heist movie, but not necessarily a Star Wars movie. It's a heist movie with Star Wars characters in it. It doesn't exactly fit into place. I mean, we see how Solo got the Falcon and everything, but like, eh, eh, eh. And then I have the Force Awakens.
Wow.
Wow, that's low.
You have it low. You'll see why later.
Girl.
But yeah, it was just like I saw it in the theaters. It was like, welcome back to Star Wars. Like, I went all out. I got all dressed up. Like, there's pictures of me online with people dressed up in the theater. Like, it was fucking awesome. But it was just kind of like I'm just like, all right. Like, and I saw it for what it is. It's like, let's rehash A New Hope again. And dude, like, killing Han off, just fucking spoiler alert. Killing Han off right then, I was just like, and just Kylo already taking his mask off in the first thing, I was just like, dude, you're fucking blowing your load, like, like what's going on here? Like, and then Rian Johnson comes in. We all know how that happened, but I don't know.
That's further up the list.
Yeah.
There's my bottom three.
All right. Mando, who reads? What you got?
My bottom number 11 is actually The Force Awakens.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, like you said at the beginning, so that doesn't mean I think it's terrible. To me, like, they're all amazing, and I've watched them all 1.5 million times. But kind of like what you just said, for me, The Force Awakens, I went into it, and walking out, my mind was blown. I loved it. I loved the new direction they were going. I loved everything about it. But since I've, like, long since churned with it, I do feel kind of jibbed that it was just a remake of A New Hope. To me, like, there's another Death Star. There's another mentor that dies. There's, a big bad guy that's menacing and has problems. Like, to me, it was just the same story. And I, coming from the books, was really wanting something with, like, the Yuzong Vong War and, like, an old Luke and, like, all this awesome legacy stuff. I really hate that we never saw all the original characters together at least once in that movie. So that's why that's all the way at my bottom. But like I said, I've seen it 1.5 million times. I absolutely love the dynamic between Kylo and Han in the movie. I mean, it's a great movie. It's just my bottom. Another one is The Phantom Menace. That one, same thing. I feel like it was awesome seeing Darth Maul, and like you said, mind blown. The moment that second lightsaber ignited the other way, it's like, didn't know those did that. That's awesome. And like the Horde, just the whole storyline. Seeing Obi-Wan, I'll never forget when it opened, and the first time you hear Obi-Wan and that's Obi-Wan, my mind was blown that this is like a young Obi-Wan. So that was amazing. But to me, it was so much more just politics. And rewatching it, it's really hard to not just fast forward to the last like 30 minutes of the show and be like, there's the good stuff type of deal. So that's why that's second to last, number 10. And this one I know is going to piss off people, but my number 9 is actually A New Hope. That's one.
What?
Yeah, yes, I know. I know. I love it because it is something.
I'm off the podcast. I'm kidding.
I love it because it started everything. But to me, it is one of the most clunky, dry movies out of all of them. That it very much is something that it started it. Don't get me wrong, but like the acting's kind of weird. It was their first time with the animation and getting the green screen, blue screens right. I mean, there was a lot. Like I still think it's weird that the lightsaber. I mean, there's a scene where Obi-Wan's swinging at Vader and you can see it's just like a light pole. Like there's nothing to it. So like that's always just like the little things like that have always just irritated me. But it is, like I said, it was the birth child of everything. So I've got nothing against it. It's just that's probably those three are probably by far the least watched out of my library of Star Wars movies.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. So I'm just gonna pull this so you guys can see my last or bottom three when I drop the news. At the very bottom, I have Attack of the Clones. For reasons that you guys have stated, I mean, it's kind of just the acting. I mean, Hayden Christensen's first movie, pretty much, and it just kind of was all over the place and corny. I mean, there were definitely a lot of great scenes in it, but I still would watch it, but it's just not my favorite one. So it's my least favorite one out of them all. I mean, it's great because we get to see Jango, we get to see young Boba, we get to see Slave One. I mean, Fire Spray, whatever the hell they call it now.
Yeah.
Seeing the clones, I mean, that was great. I mean, there's a lot of great things to it, but it's just, I'm not a huge fan. If I'm going to go start a Star Wars movie just to have on the background, that's the last one I want to go to. I don't know why, but yeah. So this is the one I'm going to get burned for. But number 10, A New Hope.
What in the world
Right.
podcast did you guys get me
It's
into?
on there. It's on there.
Right.
Damn.
So, yes, it started everything. And again, I still love it. I'll watch it all the time. But it was another corny movie to me. I mean, it's just the acting all around. I mean, Luke was just another whiny kid. He reminds me of Kylo Ren pretty much of the sequels. I mean, it didn't hit. It just was boring. Not boring. I shouldn't say boring because then I'll get killed for that. But it just wasn't as exciting as all the other ones. The lightsaber duels weren't anything spectacular. I mean, it was just, for the time it was in,
Right.
it was great. It was amazing. I mean, they were breaking barriers everywhere on everything. I mean, it was awesome. But if you put it in the lineup with now, I mean, it's doesn't stand up to all the other new movies. The storyline, great, yes, but it's just not one that I'll put on when I want to go watch a movie. So we'll get off that one real quick before somebody burns me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 9 is The Last Jedi. It's another one that is great. I love it. I love the Battle of Crate. I even love when they go to Canto Bight. I mean, they're just expanding the universe, and everybody's like, I don't understand why they even threw that in there. What do they got to go there for? Well, they're going to get the code breaker that would get the tracking beacon off them or whatever. So I mean, there was a reason why they had to go to Canto Bight, and like I said, it just expanded the universe even more. Seeing Leia, I mean, again, for the last time, pretty much, while she was actually living. And yeah, I mean, it's an all around great movie, but it's number 9 on my list. So
Interesting.
yeah. Yep. So, but one of my favorite duels is the Throne Room duel, and that is one of my all-time favorite duels, next to Duel of Fates. But
We'll get to that.
yeah, it's just yeah. So, all right, so we're gonna go 8, 7, 6. Go same rotation.
All right, 876. So my number 8 is Solo.
Okay.
Very enjoyable movie. A nice adventure, like Dark Star said. It was a heist movie. It was different. I think it suffered from, the change in direction halfway through the production. But I think it was for the better. It gave us a lot of great scenes. It just ranked kind of low in the overall list because to me it was just kind of predictable. We knew all of the story nods it was going to hit. Han meets Chewie. Han meets Lando, Han gets the Falcon, Han does the Kessel Run. It was fantastic seeing all that, and Lando was, man, fantastic, spot on. But just a little predictable, you know. It tried to change things up a little bit along the way, but still just predictable. But nonetheless, enjoyable. Number 7 is The Force Awakens. So, I enjoyed the heck out of it, but to the points that you guys have made, it's just a missed opportunity. You had all 3 actors from the original trilogy signed up. Just why not give us just one scene with all 3 of them together? I remember waiting to the end of the movie. I'm like, shit, are you telling me Luke is not going to show up? And, but I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the new characters. I liked the direction that the new trilogy was going to go in. I expected them to focus on the new characters, obviously, but I just think it was a missed opportunity. But nonetheless, I think I liked it for the same reason you disliked it, Mando Who Reads. It was a kind of rehash of A New Hope, but they kind of put a new spin on things, and they used it kind of like a launch pad to propel the new series. So it's like, let's give you something familiar. It's almost like history repeating itself, but going a different direction.
Well, I've always viewed it as a recap of the previous trilogy too. So yeah, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, so yeah, for that reason I actually liked it. So but the reason it falls low again is because of that missed opportunity. And then number 6, we're on 6? Yeah, I lost count. 6. So 6 is Return of the Jedi. Come on, that was like, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was the culmination of one of the most amazing trilogies the world had ever seen. I'm ready for you this time.
Ready. You got the quick draw going.
Yeah. So but I'm not gonna say I disliked it, but the reason it falls low on this list is for the same reasons Mando Who Reads disliked The Force Awakens. Another Death Star, it's like, come on, it was a little too hokey. It was a little too clean.
I agree.
But nonetheless, fantastic. I mean, it was a rollicking adventure. We got to see some really amazing scenes for its time. The speeder bike chase, the fight outside and within the Death Star. Come on, that was amazing for its time. So still, fantastic movie. It just falls short.
Is that it for your next ones?
That was 8, 7, and 6.
Wow. Okay. All right, Chris, you're up.
All right, here we go. I'm trying to make a drink right here. All right, what do we got here? I'm starting off with the Revenge of the Sith.
For 8?
If you want that.
All right.
So, yeah, no, like, I absolutely fucking love that movie. Like, I don't know what else to say about that movie. There's some, like, clunky dialogue and everything. The lightsaber fight was, like, too overdone. And I mean, as you can see, I might be an OT trilogy person. But I don't know. It's just like over the top, which is fucking awesome to see in the fucking theater. But it's just like, and then you see it in the cartoons, and then everything works. So I don't know. It's fucking cool to see. But I don't know. But from Anakin to Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I'm just reading comics.
Oh.
Like the change from Anakin to Darth Vader, like that worked so fucking well. It's just like, yo, I need it. Like, like when they run into the fucking office and shit, it's just like roll up and it's just like, I know you're the fucking Sith and shit, and it's just like, and fucking.
So they said something about that too, because you have where he does the 1080 or whatever and flying over. So they said, because I mean, obviously he was super slow. Like, how do you not dodge that being a Jedi? But
Yeah,
they said they slowed it down because he was moving so fast, or some excuse of whatever they said. But
no, if you read the actual book of Revenge of the Sith, like fucking, he grabs those lightsabers out of those statues that are in his room. Like, so he should have two. He definitely has another lightsaber, and I'm surprised they didn't bring that out like with the thing when he fights Yoda and whatnot. But like it just happens so fast, like, and he just spins, and then he takes out two of them, and then it's just like that duel. But like that movie's great. Like and that was a fun one for me because I saw that opening day in a drive-in. The oldest drive-in in America. Shankweiler's drive-in. Gotta give him a shout out. Rock and roll. Thanks for being around. But we had a whole fucking lightsaber duel, like right in front of the fucking screen. Like fucking movie. Like, me and my friends was like, yo, this is it. Like, and we up and everything. Like, yeah, it was great. But yeah, no, I just gotta put Solo for like the clunkiness. It's like great opening, great ending. It's just like get through the middle of it.
yeah.
All right, wait, I got it
What
next.
you got next?
A New Hope.
Oh, jeez.
A New Hope, dude. Like, I mean, my mom showed me that movie. I was probably like, Jesus Christ, dude. I was probably like 5 or something. Laura, talk in chat.
That's why you didn't like it. You were too young.
No. Yeah, you put it lower than I did. But yeah, no, she got me I think it was this VHS right here from this series. So unaltered and everything. I saw that for the first time and I was just like, I'm gonna be, well, fast forward, like I watched them all. I'm gonna be Luke Skywalker as a Jedi with the green lightsaber at the end of the fucking thing, like for Halloween. Like, this is what I want to do. Like, and that is what got me in Star Wars. Like, my mom showing me this movie when I was that young, I was just like, I'm in. I'm all in. The reason I put it so low, unfortunately, is, yeah, it's more clunky stuff, but I don't know. Like, read it. Like, Han shot first, dude.
Getting controversial up in here.
Yeah, right?
So what you got for 6?
What do I got for 6? All right, here's where we get a segue here. And Snazzy's going to like this one. I put Rogue One in its own category.
In its own category out of 11? 1 through 11? How do you put it in its own category?
It's the bottom and top of its own category.
Yeah, right. It's first and last.
Right.
But yeah, no, I just kind of put it out there in its own category that it's just like it encompasses free.
Okay. So is that your number 6, or is it?
It's
Or-
just
Number one.
It's just out. It's just out over there somewhere.
It's 6B.
6B. I'm curious what 6A is.
like let's put it this way. Like if I want to watch a movie for the fucking rest of my life, I'd probably watch Rogue One. Let's put it that way.
Okay, I can go with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's the kind of category that I would put it in. Like, yeah, it's top 3, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, what do I actually have there is
Wait, there's more.
Right.
So which one is it?
Return of the Jedi.
Okay. All right. That's it.
I mean, dude, if you've been in my house, like you see my wall, I love the fucking throne room scene. Like, we'll get to it if we get to like we already talked about lightsaber fights and everything. But I don't know, man. Like, it's a great movie for me.
Okay.
All right.
Mando, what you got?
Yes. So my number 8, regrettably, is Solo. I love the movie. I absolutely thought it was amazing. I just couldn't place it anywhere higher with the rest of the other movies that I have there. They're just too much of a standpoint. I thought if I were to, I mean, I don't even know how to categorize. Like Darkstar was saying to me, the Rogue One and Solo are like in their own category to me. But Solo, if I had to place it on the list, it would probably be 8, just because it's fantastically entertaining. I love the backstory. The spoiler alert, Darth Maul blip, I thought was absolutely amazing. I mean, that I shut my phone down like a week before because I think it was The Last Jedi had come out before it, I think.
Yeah, and then it got shit on.
Right. Months.
So I remember seeing a massive spoiler in The Last Jedi before I went to the movie, and I was goddamn livid. So I shut my phone off for like 2 weeks before Solo came out. So I had no idea that Maul was going to make an appearance. And like, even when they were showing his legs, I'm like, that looks familiar. Like, who is this? And then like, it hit me, and my mind was blown. So like, to me, that was amazing. But in the placement, I can't place it any higher just because of all the others. But number 7 is going to be Attack of the Clones, for reasons I love. I know. I love, like I said, the Yoda scene where he drops. I mean, I remember in theater, like the moment he dropped his cane, people were like screaming in the theater.
Yeah.
Like, it was amazing seeing Dooku take them on. My biggest issue with it is, again, it was just politics, like for 90% of the show. And then I think it's one of the, and this is going to really piss people off, the fight between Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Dooku, I think is the worst lightsaber fight ever made.
Yeah.
They don't even really
The lightsabers are just moving
like they don't technically
in front of their
fight, it's just,
faces.
like, in front of their faces with the light. And it's like, like it was cool seeing Anakin pick up the 2 lightsabers and like go at it, and seeing Yoda and Dooku use lightning. I mean, that was amazing, but the lightsaber fight was so dismal. And then like he gets ragdolled across the room after his arms cut off. Like it was such a weird, I don't know, love seeing the clones, love seeing Jango Fett, the lead-in for Stormtroopers, amazing. But yeah, it was, I don't know, that's just kind of where that one is. My number 6 is also regrettably Return of the Jedi. That was one that was number 1 on my list for the longest time. I used to, when I was like a kid playing in like playgrounds, I used to pretend I was like Han Solo running away from the exploding bunker because it was so cool. Like that was amazing. Luke's duel with Vader, the lighting was beautiful. Like his little go into the dark side moment, it was amazing. But again, all these other movies that have come out and just over time, movies sitting the way they sit with me, it's just kind of slowly gone down the list, and it's just ended up at number 6.
Yep.
All right. So number 8 on my list is Return of the Jedi. Again, I mean, we're gonna keep like stumbling over each other's words the whole time, but it just kind of is outdated now with everything that came out. It's a great movie, and I'll watch it anytime. But with just what's out now, it's slowly going down the list. I mean, I love seeing Jabba's palace and Luke coming down and showing that he's a badass, and taking out the Rancor, the first time seeing the Rancor, that was the coolest thing. And then, but it just had that corny feel again with the Sarlacc pit. I mean, all of a sudden now we have force kicks on the skiff where like Luke just completely whiffs it, and then you got Boba flying behind him and smacking into the wall. I love Boba Fett. I mean, I was so excited when they introduced him, his armor, everything. I mean, he's just a badass. And then he just gets...
No, don't worry, he made it.
Yeah, spoiler alert. But just having him go across and just dying that quick was like, what a waste. And it was kind of like what you said with Maul. I mean, it was like we get this badass character and then he's gone until how many ever years later. But yeah, so that's my number 8. 7 is Revenge of the Sith. Again, great. Love seeing Vader turn to the dark side. Love giving the clone troopers Order 66, all that. And it seemed to be more of a showboat type deal than like actual lightsaber battles. I mean, you got Obi-Wan and Anakin just flailing their sabers all over the place when they could have killed each other a million times. I mean, people talk about the throne room scene where Rey's in a chokehold and then the guard has no other staff or whatever, and his other arm, it disappears or whatever. And I mean, you got Luke and Anakin just flailing their sabers all over the place for no reason. And I don't know. I mean, it's again a great episode, but that's where I'm going to rank it, number 7. So number 6, Solo.
Damn.
What's that?
Damn.
So Solo's number 6 on mine. Again, I lost my shit when they introduced Maul. It blew my mind that he was back again in live action. I love seeing Dryden Voss. I thought he was a great villain. And just getting Crimson Dawn, I mean, it was just all that underground. And it's a fun, rewatchable movie. I mean, just to throw in the background. I know he's not Harrison Ford, but I think he did a great job of what they gave him. But yeah, I love the whole underground role that they had going on. So I got that at number 6. So yeah, we're gonna get into our top 5. This should be interesting.
Now it's getting good. All right, so
Snazzy's so high because I like it.
Snazzy's gonna get
Snazzy, I haven't been seeing your list pop up here as we're going through.
Yeah, right?
All right, so we got 5, 4, and 3.
Ooh, okay. All right, so 5. So my number 5 is Revenge of the Sith. ranked highly. And I think now with the top 5, we're getting into, because they're all exciting, they're all great, but the ones that I think resonate with us the most are the ones that have the most emotional impact. So now, Revenge of the Sith is packed with emotional impact, right? There's so many fantastic scenes and so well done. I mean, the whole scene with Anakin just contemplating going over to stop Mace, and the music, and you just know what's going to happen, and you're still internally pleading like, oh man, don't do it, but it happens anyway. And just the way, the ending, like George Lucas always says, the poetry, right? It's
Gonna be.
You see Padme in her coffin, and Anakin almost being resurrected as Darth Vader, right? It was beautiful to watch, heartbreaking to watch, even though you knew how the story was going to come out. So, I mean, strong entry, a good finale to the prequel trilogy. So that's number 5. Number 4, and this one was difficult. This one was actually, I struggled. This one, I actually wanted to rank it higher, but in talking about emotional impact, the other 3 just made it, the top 3 just were more, impactful for me. But number 4 is The Last Jedi. And I absolutely, despite what everyone thinks of it, I absolutely adore this movie. I love the direction it took. Yes, I'm ready for you. I loved the direction that it took. It where every other film kind of fed to fan expectations, this one just went the complete opposite direction. And that's what made it great. I think I screamed more during this film than any other film, any other Star Wars film that I've watched. It was great. It was beautiful. It gave us the scene with Yoda and Luke. I mean, that was a beautiful scene.
That.
Yeah, I mean, just his words, it sticks with me to this day. And yeah, I thought it was a great entry, and I really wished that they would have continued with the themes that they introduced in The Last Jedi. I think that was a missed opportunity. So, and what are we on now? Number 3. Number 3 is Rogue One. I mean, and where I said Solo was too predictable, this one was, of course, just as predictable. You knew that they weren't going to survive.
Whoa,
but
spoilers.
You got, yeah, right. No, nobody makes it. If you didn't watch it, too late. The spoiler ban is lifted. So, I mean, but by the end of the movie, you're rooting so much for the characters that you hope beyond hope that somehow they're going to make it. And, it just led so well into the original trilogy. It was like seamless. And I mean, we got to see the original pilots from A New Hope, the Death Star battle, in this battle, in the Battle of Scarif, and just, the odds were against them, and they fulfilled their mission, and it was exciting. We got to see Saw, got to see the Death Star, Darth Vader in his
glory.
Prime. Yeah, I mean, what's not to like? That is possibly one of the most rewatchable of all of the films for me.
I saw some shit the other day. Apparently, in A New Hope, there's an empty chair, in that one scene where they're having that meeting.
Right. That's supposed to be Krennic's. Yeah.
Be Krennic.
Apparently. Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, Chris, what's yours? We got top 5, 5, 4, 3.
Oh, 5, 4, 3. Well, I already did a couple of them. So my top one is Empire.
No, we're doing 5.
5.
5. Number 5.
Wait, there's other movies?
Oh, okay. I like that. Okay, I'll give you that. I like that. We'll go with that.
No, I mean like if I had to put fucking what you call it, Last Jedi anywhere, it'd probably be like 8. Like Last Jedi, like they tie for 8.
Okay.
Like I'm not doing it.
Christmas list is all over the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, Empire Strikes Back all the way.
All right. Mando, who reads? Are you still there, or did we lose you? I think we lost him. There he is.
I'm here.
Hey.
Sorry, had like a work emergency all of a sudden. Had to go off. All right, number 5.
5, 4, 3.
Yes. So 5 used to be number 1 for me right after I saw it, and it has, as time has marinated, slowly sunk to the bottom. Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
I loved it in theater. I loved everything about it. And I know people are going to hate me for saying this. I love that the Emperor came back. I thought that was a fantastic little bring. The Dark Ray stuff was, I wish they had done more with it. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it was amazing. The fight scene in the Sith throne room was perfect. I mean, I loved everything about it. But again, like The Force Awakens, I feel like there was a lot of missed opportunity for more. The hopeless romantic, I wish Ben Solo had still been alive. That irritated the hell out of me. And just the Skywalker legacy. I mean, Rey, sure, but the Skywalker legacy, I wish could have continued. I get why everyone got killed off except for Lando. I mean, everyone's old and literally either dead or not wanting to be in to get it. But I really like that one. But just the missed opportunities, I kind of felt could have been better. My number 4 is Rogue One. This one, like I said, if I could categorize these differently, I would put the stories in their own slot. But Rogue One, I loved. It was so, to me, watching it in theater, it was like watching the originals, which is really hard to do. Like, it felt like it was filmed in that era. It felt like it was, like, everything was just an original film to me. Not to mention seeing Tarkin. Like, I remember watching it and Tarkin was facing the Death Star, and I'm like, there's no way they're going to have him turn around. Like, it's just not. The moment he turned around, my mind just exploded. Like, oh my God. I thought they nailed the CGI on him and Leia. And just the Death Troopers. And we've talked multiple times, I like the darker side stories. The fact that everyone just gets obliterated, I absolutely loved. Because, sure, you could work them into a story here in the future, but I feel like that's kind of a cop-out. So I love that they actually just glassed everyone. And then my number 3 is definitely Rise of the Sith, Revenge of the Sith. I loved that one as a kid. And ironically, I hated watching it in theater because as a stupid kid, I bought and I don't know why Lucasfilm did this. They released the video game like 2 weeks before the movie.
They keep doing
Yeah.
Right. And then me as a dumb kid was like, I'm going to goddamn play it. And so, like, I played it. And they even had clips from the movie. Like, I don't understand why they thought, like, this is obviously pre-Disney where they're, like, thinking about keeping things secret. Like, they just released it. I remember, like, playing it. This is the best game ever. Right. Like, I loved the game. It was amazing. And then the moment I sat down in theater, I was like, God damn it. Like, I've already seen all of this. Like, what am I doing? Like, I was so hyped up to see it, but I was so disappointed because I had seen all of it already.
Yeah.
Like, that was so irritating. But I loved the duels. I mean, the story I didn't feel was too political. Again, the darker side of things. I loved seeing just how dark Anakin went and how quickly. I know people harp really heavily on Hayden Christensen's acting, even in Attack of the Clones. I loved it. I thought his acting was spot on for the character itself. Because his character was meant to be this immature kid who's in this role of almost a divine god to fix the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Of course he's going to be a whiny bitch. Like, this kid came from, like, being literally a slave and, like, living on a dust bowl to having the world. Like, you're being told, like, you're the savior of the galaxy. Like, you can do whatever you want. He didn't have to fit the molds. He didn't go through, like, the typical Padawan stuff. He even was circumvented, even though the council said no. Like, his whole story was just gifts. And so for him to be a whiny bitch at the end, yeah, of course he's going to do that. I don't think that was anything on Hayden. I think that was purposeful. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have a question with that right.
Yeah.
So in the Clone Wars, in the Mortis episodes, where, like, it goes, like, that dark side shit, I mean, like, we already know, like, he was going against the grain, he was wearing darker clothes and everything, and when he, like, actually sees that shit and fucking does everything, what do you think about that? Like, well, with the Clone Wars, Anakin versus, like, live action Anakin.
Right. I mean, I felt like he was pretty much the same. I mean, you look at different episodes in the Clone Wars. I mean, it's more of a grown-up feel to it rather than, like, a whiny bitch. But, like, you look at, like, when Ahsoka gets put in jail.
Right.
His reaction is to, like, just fucking gut everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like, he was all about, like, doing that. And then not to mention, like, the first movie of the Clone Wars, he's whining about Ahsoka being assigned to him as a Padawan.
Yeah.
Like, I felt that even so, it kept the mold of who he was. I think the Clone Wars did make him feel more grown up, just because I think that was the vibe they were going for. But again, that's like retroactive stuff. They got to make him, it's kind of like the filling in that Lucasfilms does. But no, I thought they nailed it with it. Like, the Mortis arc was beautiful. I mean, oh my God, so much implications to, like, the grander scheme of even Revenge of the Sith. Like, the fact that he knew ahead of time, like, this is where it would end, is amazing. I mean, they talk about that poetic symmetry that LucasArts did, and it's beautiful. Yeah, no, that's my number 3 for sure. It's one that I've seen 1.5 million times, and I'll happily see him get out of bed with abs and sweating and having his nightmares in the palace. As corny as it is, I absolutely love it. I think he's an amazing. I thought his character was great. I will say, the only beef I have with that movie, like I said, I'll flip around real quick. The only beef I have with that movie is one scene. I hate the scene when they're in the Separatist dreadnought and they get caught by the ray shield, and Obi-Wan, I think it's Obi-Wan, looks at him and he's like, "Well, how'd we do this?" And it's like, what? Like,
we're too smart for this.
Yeah, we're too smart for
Right, yeah, we're too smart for this. Like, and they're like in front of, like, literally the president of the galaxy. Like, why did you say that? Like, that to me was the worst part of that movie, was that little scene. Like, it was just so weird. Like, even to this day, every time I watch it, I like, ugh. Like, it's just so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know. It just does not fit the rest of the movie, so I don't know. Overall, it's great.
All right. So, number 5. We're in the top 5 now. This one is more nostalgia than anything, is why it ranks so high. It was my first one to see in the theaters, and I can't even tell you how many times I saw it in theaters with my mom. But it's Phantom Menace. As surprising as that is.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know it's high. It's in top 5. But again, it's nostalgia. I mean, growing up with Star Wars, I mean, we saw 4, 5, and 6, and yeah, it was great. And then, what was I? I was 9 years old when this came out, and just collecting all the toys from it, all the promos for it. I mean, I have posters from Frito-Lay or whatever, and Pepsi cans with all the characters on it. Go to Taco Bell, you're getting the collector cups with the heads. I mean, all that stuff, and it's more of a nostalgia thing. But I love. I mean, Darth Maul is one of my all-time favorite characters. I mean, I'm so glad that he's back, because we already talked about this, that he got killed off so quickly. It was like, what happened? This is like the coolest person that you've ever introduced into the Star Wars world or galaxy, and you just killed him off. But you get the Naboo Starfighter. I mean, that's one of the most badass ships in Star Wars. I mean, it's more of a nostalgia move for that one. But number 4 is Rise of Skywalker.
Wow. All right.
I love that movie. I could watch that over and over and over again. I mean, just like all the other ones, but I absolutely loved it. And I know it didn't play out to how everybody wanted it to play out with, but I love the fact that Rey said she was a Skywalker at the end. I mean, you have this person that's been on a planet all by herself and felt like she was a nobody, had no family or anything, and she came in contact with Luke and Leia, and she felt like they were her family. So, I mean, that's like, to me, it's like a kid being at an orphanage, and they get a family, and then they feel that love, and then obviously they take that person's name. So that's how I kind of felt it with Rey, with taking Skywalker. Was a little corny looking over and seeing him over there, yeah, but still, it was a great ending. And then got one of my...
Well, and on top of it, like the fact that she's a Palpatine, or like a clone, or whatever you want to classify, to see her go from that to Skywalker, even if it's just taking the name or whatever, to me that was... I mean, I loved it. Like I said, that wasn't something I had beef with. I loved that.
And then you get her saber. I mean, I love her new saber, but I do think that they're setting that up for something else in the future. I think, I don't know if it's going to be another trilogy, but I think there's going to be more with that, with how they ended it. I love the...
Well, and you see that they were talking about how the yellow sabers were traditionally by people who were like the protectors of the Jedi Temple, the guards and stuff. And I thought that was, I'm hoping there's some symbology there. I love
and just the ignition of that, the sound from it, it's just
right,
so bad.
Although the Black Series version of it didn't do it justice, it just looks like an asshole.
It does.
Fuck her
It
up.
really does. The paint job is terrible. I can't.
It is literally an asshole.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. Exactly. But it's an amazing saber.
But
it is.
The whole, I mean, I think Kylo Ren is a great character, and seeing him, I mean, when they're fighting on the Death Star, I think that is one of my favorite fights as well. I mean, and then you have Kylo just looking like, trying to figure out where he's going to be at now, and all of a sudden you hear, "Hey, kid," and it's freaking Han Solo again, and it's like, oh my God, and it just hit all the feels again. And he doesn't even have to say anything, and he goes, "I know." And it was just like, that whole interaction between them was just so great. And I was pretty sad to see him kill him off. And we all were expecting a kiss, of course. That whole thing had to happen.
Do I need to kill him again?
Huh?
Nothing.
I love that they brought Palpatine back. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, he should have died there," but I mean, he's been possessing things for how long? I mean, bodies, whatever. I mean, he's been around since The Last Jedi. Return of the Jedi. He's been around.
Everything. I got one of my favorite moments, at Star Wars Celebration in 2019 in Chicago, when they trailer out, when like they rolled the trailer. I was on the show floor, and it was just like they rolled the trailer, and then it's like everything went dark, and then Ian McDermott came out, and he's just
Roll it again.
again. Dude, everyone just lost it.
I remember I was going to one of my buddy's bachelor parties over in Tampa. We were driving on I-4, and we had it playing the live stream of that, and just seeing that, like, I had goosebumps driving. But,
Right.
yeah,
Dude,
Rise of Skywalker, I think it was great. I mean, and again, they're expanding the galaxy with different areas where they had that whole what'd you call it, with all like the elephant looking people or whatever you want to call them. I mean, you had that festival going on, and then you have Lando coming back. I mean, people thought Chewie dead. I thought Chewie was dead. When that whole thing happened, I was like, Chewie's dead. And but that's number 4 for me. And then number 3, again, it's not so much a nostalgia thing, but it was just how excited I was when it came out, was Force Awakens. I mean, going from having the prequels, and you're like, well, what happens next? And then when we got the announcement of Force Awakens, I lost it, and I thought it was the coolest thing. And yeah, it was a little bit of a hash. I mean, a large hash of A New Hope, but like new. I mean, it was they didn't have junky CGI or anything like that. Like, it was new and improved. So I loved it. And the First Order, I mean, you got the First Order troopers. I thought their helmets were badass. Introducing Kylo and his saber, thought that was the coolest thing. And yeah, I mean, you got Luke and Leia, or not Luke and Leia, Han and Leia coming back for the first time since Return of the Jedi. I mean, that was so cool to see.
At least we got that.
Yeah. Now, I agree with you that they should have definitely brought all 3 of them together for something. And I think even Mark Hamill even had his thing on that, where he was like, have Luke and Leia show up to where Kylo kills him, and have them like get there like just at the last second, not to save him, but be there in the same area to witness it. But I thought that would be cool.
Twitter post that Mark Hamill put out that was just like, yeah, we should have been like in the cockpit of the Falcon or something.
Something together, one last time. But I loved it all around. I thought General Hux was a badass, and then he kind of trickled down with Rise of Skywalker, and then they made him into a spy, which I didn't really agree with that, but he was pretty mean in Force Awakens. He was
maniacal. He was really maniacal in the Force Awakens.
Well,
so
well, if you read the Phasma book, his dad was like a complete asshole Imperial officer. And like he's brutal, because I think he even kills his father. Like, it's this whole thing. Like, he is intense. Yeah. He's intense. So I mean, he's up there in terms of baddies. Yeah.
Well, I think he has the highest kill count.
It's because
right, because he destroyed the whole system.
Yep.
Right.
All right. So, and I mean, we got Rey. I mean, I'm a diehard Rey fan. I think she's the most badass, one of the most badass Jedis. I think she gets a lot of hate, but I mean, she's pretty much self-taught. I mean, she's reading all the ancient texts and all this stuff. I mean, she's really doing research on it, and I just feel like she's getting a lot of.
He actually read the books, not like Luke.
Exactly. So I mean, and you had the same thing. You have Luke, a farm boy, just come out of nowhere, and then he's like, oh, a lightsaber, and he points it at his face, and then like he goes on to fight Vader and like does a pretty good job at it, and everybody's like, well, why is Rey all of a sudden fighting Kylo, and she can just like defeat him or whatever? It was like
the dyad
didn't. What is it?
The dyad bullshit.
Yeah. Chris really does not like the sequels. That's why he's got it at number 1.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so
I enjoyed the hell out of the sequels.
I love the sequels a lot.
Honestly.
I love it, but it's like, I don't know. They have their place.
All right, so we got the number 2 and number 1. We have made it to the end. What do we got?
All right.
Golden.
Oh, drum
All
roll.
right.
Drum roll.
Yes. All right. So I mean, this is no surprise. It's almost kind of predictable. But number 2 is, and I'm actually going to talk about them together because it's like they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Number 2 is The Empire Strikes Back, and number 1, and number 1 is A New Hope, right? So it's almost completely opposite from
Yeah.
from
Where was
you
it on my
guys.
list?
Yeah, but for the same reasons that the prequel films rank so highly for some of you, where for many people the prequels may have been their first entry into this fandom, and for me it was those 2 movies. And
Nostalgia.
I didn't see A New Hope, or Star Wars as it was called. It wasn't even a new, right? I didn't see that in theaters, but I saw the re-release in 1979, prior to the release of The Empire Strikes Back, and I had already been aware of it, but the technology at the time, it's not like we had VCRs or anything. So that re-release in theaters was my first entry, and it changed my life, man. It was unlike anything I had ever experienced before or after. And it's clunky. Of course it's clunky. It's corny. The visuals don't necessarily stand up, but they were really freaking amazing for their time. And I think when compared to other films of the time, it was light years ahead.
ILM fucking killed it.
Yeah, ILM really.
That
Honestly.
technology and stuff now. I mean,
Yeah, we would not have what we have
Right,
now
definitely.
without that.
You
definitely.
And
Well, and I remember
credits at
I remember watching the Phantom Menace had their VHS when it came out had like a behind the scenes of Star Wars type thing you could watch for the first 15 minutes, and they went over like how they filmed A New Hope, and I'll never forget one of the ways that they filmed the trench run was one of the ways they filmed the trench run was they had a guy in a Jeep with a like scaled model that was like a house size width, and they just like drove what the camera, and the guy in the front seat was just lighting firecrackers and like tossing it in there and blowing up the model, and that's how they got the explosions. And like to me, like you look at films that happened in that time frame, it was so revolutionary.
Yeah.
For what they did. I mean, it sounds so stupid to us with like technology and green screens, but like that was genius. Life props being blown up and making it real in space. I mean, it's great.
guy
And a movie.
pod racer, fucking goddamn George Lucas's fucking Ferrari. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And when we look at, when we remember films and the films that really stick with us, they can have great stories, they can have great characters, but it's what stays with you on the inside. It's the emotional impact that it has, and for me, those were life-changing, and I mean, whole papers and theories have been written based on A New Hope. Richard Campbell, he wrote such a great paper on just those eternal themes of good and evil. And yeah, it was simplistic, but it was just so well done and conceived, and it gave you hope, that's a young idealistic kid that can actually change the fate of a whole galaxy. And then in the Empire, they just took it even further, and really expanded the story and the themes and made it darker and more grounded and like, wow, this is real now. You know, these guys can actually get hurt. These guys that I loved now, holy shit, Han is missing, freaking Luke got his hand. What are you doing to my heroes? You know, the heroes can actually lose. And, you know, had we even experienced that prior to that, where you know, people that you rooted for in one movie now lost in another? You know, like that was revolutionary in itself. You know, such a daring storytelling risk when you think of it, right? Now it's like commonplace. Everybody, oh yeah, we got to do something, you know, edgy, but that shit has been done, you know. So, but at the time, this was wild. And as a kid, I think I was what, like 8 years old or something when Empire came out. No, bullshit, I was 6. So I was 6 years old in the theater, and I mean, I remember it vividly, like it was yesterday, and those feelings. And you know, for a 6-year-old to see his hero get cornered on this freaking whatever the hell that was, right? that freaking it's like on the end of a plank, right?
Yeah.
That catwalk, get his hand chopped off. This guy is your dad? I'm sitting next to my dad, you know?
You gonna cut my hand off, Dad?
Yeah, you know, I'm like, holy crap, is this, like, I'm looking like this is happening? Like, this really happening? Are they ending this movie like this? So, yeah, it's the emotional impact, you know, and that's why those two just will forever rank highly in my books. And
Definitely.
if it wasn't for those two, we wouldn't have what we have today.
Definitely.
So,
yeah, I agree with that. What you got, Mando?
Yeah, so for me, my number 2 is definitely, and people are going to hate me for it, but The Last Jedi. I absolutely loved The Last Jedi. I thought it was just amazingly scripted. It showed the duality of good and evil, like you were talking about, right? I thought it was amazing. I loved that they killed off Snoke. I wish we had more to do with Snoke as a big baddie, but it was so, like you said, so edgy, so different, even from Star Wars standards. Like the fact that they just butchered him in like the end scene, and then that throne room fight that you mentioned. Oh my God, the Reds and the Praetorian Guards and that whole fight, and then Kylo fighting with her, like seeing a dude with a red lightsaber that was like butchering people earlier, like having him help her out was just, I loved it. I loved that flip of the script. Yeah, and then like I said, I think everyone kind of complains and bitches about Luke's idealism in the movie, but I thought it was spot on for his character.
Agree.
You know, like you said, he's the idealistic kid. What happens when that idealistic kid who's, you know, never had that massive cultural support system gets his literal home blown up by his students? I mean, and not to mention you see him and how much he hurt when he realized how he had betrayed Ben. That's 100% reason. I mean, and people bitch about it, but yeah, you got the Grand Master of the Jedi Order like taking one swing at Palpatine. He's like, off to a swamp I go.
Right.
Like that's just what he did.
This is what
Like,
they do.
exactly, like,
Yep.
You
Right,
lose,
well,
you go into exile.
right.
Yep.
Right. Well, there was like hundreds of Jedi back then that still were alive at that moment, and he was like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
we're done."
yeah,
Like,
We're going to have.
right. Like
Uh,
exactly. So for me, like, I just thought The Last Jedi was great. It was unexpected. Like when he started twisting his hand, I'm like, he's gonna kill Snoke. Like, oh my God, there's no way. And they did it. And then even the end where he's begging, like you said, a Rey fan. Rey is amazing. I love her as a character. And seeing him literally beg her to stay with him was just perfect. And like I thought Adam Driver did amazing as the actor. I mean, he put so much emotion into it. And Rey was the perfect character for it. So yeah, The Last Jedi is definitely number 2 in my list. It would be number 1 if it wasn't for Empire Strikes Back. That one is number 1 for me. Like you said, the nostalgia. as you can see, massive Boba Fett fan, getting introduced to him in that. Like you said, the break of the mold with the hero's journey. You get the heroes that get rocked. You know, Luke's hand gets cut off. I love, for the longest time, my top 3 were movies where there was a goddamn reveal. Because I love being surprised in a movie. That's something that, like you said, every movie nowadays is so cookie cutter, but like Darth Vader being Luke's father, that was like something you just couldn't have seen coming. You know, all of those surprises I've loved. And so no, A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back is definitely my number 1, just because of it. I actually saw it in theater a year ago. They were re-releasing them at AMC's, and so I was able to go with my son and take him to it, and his whole time he's just losing his mind. So no, that is by far one of my favorites. And then it's got, we'll talk about duels later, but in my opinion, it's got one of the best cinematic lightsaber fights ever.
Yes.
That fight scene in the carbon freezing room, the lighting they do and the smoke, I loved that fight scene.
And it was brutal.
So yeah, that's definitely it was like, and then you had Luke Skywalker doing, you know, we bitch about, you know, the Book of Bubba and the dude spinning. Like, how many times do you see Luke just like do a little twirl and, you know, hack away at Vader? But you got him doing flips and climbing stuff, and he was physically into the fight because, like I said, you went from A New Hope being like 2 old dudes in like 100 pounds of, you know, costumes, just like tapping each other with a metal rod. And then you go to Empire Strikes Back, where they're like, David Prowse is giving Luke a run for his money, and he's like hacking at him, and Luke's hitting him back.
Let's go to fucking Jedi, where he's flipping back on fucking goddamn rat.
Right. Like I said, they progress it, and it's great. And I love seeing that jump from the 2 old guys hitting each other to this is a legit down dirty fight where they're hacking away at each other. So no, I loved, definitely my number 1.
Yeah.
Well, Chris kind of gave us his number 1. So, you want to elaborate on that, or do you just want to go with what you got, or
what?
Did you want to say anything else with your top 2, even though we already heard about it?
Empire Strikes Back.
What about number 2? No number 2?
I have this encompassing Rogue One thing with Return of the Jedi and A New Hope.
Okay.
If you haven't noticed, I might be a original trilogy fan.
Right.
I thought you were a sequel fan, though.
Oh man, fire sale.
$50 a piece.
All right. Well,
All right, Nick. I'm eager to hear yours, Nick.
I'm going to go with 2 and 1. So, number 2 on my list is Empire. Empire is number 2. It was one of the first films that I remember, and like I said, New Hope really didn't do it for me. It was kind of but Empire, it grasped my attention with the whole Hoth scenes. I mean, you got the AT-ATs. This is when you started seeing all these cool walkers and ships and stuff. And I mean, and the scene with Luke and Vader at the end. I mean, it's just all around was such a great, for its time, was amazing. I mean, they really set the bar high for any movies coming out like in that time of like they were just blowing everybody else out of the water with their effects and stuff. I mean, it was just insane.
ILM, like that's where they went crazy with all the sound and everything. Like dude, watching that in the movie, even watching it on my TV right now is just like sounds. I was like, what?
Yeah,
like,
it's wild.
Like,
and John Williams was on fire, man. John Williams was
from that just amazing. And Boba, I mean, we got to see, like you said, the introduction of Boba, and just seeing him standing there next to Vader, I mean, it was just all around great.
Right.
But number one on my list is Rogue One.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, just that whole story was just like a war film, and with people that we've never even seen or heard about. I mean, it was just nobody's, and went in and just tore up Scarif and got the secret plans. I mean, it was just all around such a great war movie, and there were no lightsabers in it until the end, and we didn't need it. I mean, they really carried that film.
It's great going.
And I mean, I loved it so much from the beginning, and then at the end when you see the scene where they're getting the plans, and then just the saber. I mean, I had like I don't even know what my feelings were. It was insane. Like, just seeing him hacking everybody away, throwing people up to the ceiling, spinning them, I mean, the guy going to shut the door stuck. He's trying to get through, and he just sticks him right through the door. I was just in the Death Troopers. Krennic is one of my favorite characters of all time. I mean, he's
really,
high up on the list.
Or Krennic. Like,
yeah, I mean, that poor guy, Tarkin. I mean,
how do you think work that? Like, how do you think they might be able to work that into it? Like, I mean, like, I don't always want to go back, but like, I want to see more Krennic.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I
really liked his character.
And his character was so well played. I mean, it was, and Vader, I mean, just in his chamber. I mean, that whole scene. I know we're going to talk about, like, we're going to end on our favorite quotes of the movie. And I kind of have two, but one of my favorite ones was from that movie when he says, "Don't choke on your aspirations, director." And he's just like,
that's corny as fuck.
I know it's corny, but I loved it. I still even use that. I'm like, we'll be talking or something. My wife and I, and I'll just be like, "Don't choke on your aspirations." Just like
Bro,
just stupid little things like that. But I love that quote so much, and just the Death Troopers. I mean, yeah, at first, like, I was kind of like, their voice is kind of corny and stuff. But when you guys started describing more of like it was their own like secret language, I was like, okay, yeah, I can go with that. But they're just so badass. I mean,
I love their suits.
When I saw them come on the screen,
well, they go into I can't remember what book it is, but there's a book where like they are like, it's personable with the Death Troopers, and like they're like these genetic, like enhanced, like they get twisted up into what they are, and the Death Troopers are by far, when it comes to like troopers, my number one. I mean, those guys are just badass.
They're huge. They tower over the regular stormtroopers.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and Spirit. I mean, I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I mean, that guy just put it out there. Like, I mean, it's a religion, like, of them. Like, he was just like going out in the middle of gunfire and just. I'm one with the Force. Force is with me, and he's just, oh God, it's such a great.
I love that. I also love that his character revealed that there's more to the Force than just Jedi.
Yes,
like you can have people that have sensitivity and use it in different ways, you know, and not even realize that they're using it.
Yeah.
So
Well, and they expanded on the Kyber crystal too, because Chirrut's at the top of his staff is that Kyber crystal that channels the Force to help him not use it, but like tap in or something.
Right.
And that was great to see. And then the Jedi ruins in that town on Jeddah was, I mean, just like the first scene where they're flying over and you start to see this is a Jedi statue. Like, oh my God.
There's that book, the something of the Wills or whatever. I have it. I'm not getting out of my chair right now, but it's but yeah, what's that book? You probably got
it. Something like the Journal of the Wills or something.
Journal of the Wills. I haven't read it yet, but that tells a little backstory of those guys.
And when the AT-AT gets shot with the rocket and it kind of just like does like the lean and it's like comes right back, I'm like, that's another thing, but it's just
dude, that
ass.
Right.
And the shore troopers, I mean, we got so many cool characters out of that movie,
Oh.
and then everybody died. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
But yeah, so that's my number one. My wife doesn't get it, as you saw in the comments at the beginning. She's like, "Oh no, that's my last one." She's like, "I can't stand Jyn Erso." I'm like, "She's a badass." Like,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Loved her character.
that's number 11 on our list. It's number one on my list, so that's a house divided on that one.
Oh,
Right.
Mary.
Yeah, I love Rogue One, and yeah, so well, that was fun. I mean, that was an hour and 45 minutes, but that was
Yeah.
fun. So let's wrap it up with our favorite quotes. I mean, you already heard one of mine, but Golden, what's your all-time favorite quote?
My all-time favorite is Yoda speaking to Luke in The Last Jedi. When did I write it down? Yes, specifically when he says, "We are what they grow beyond, and that is the burden of all masters." I thought that was just so beautiful. It was so nice. It and where people or fans may have been disappointed with the direction of Luke's character, that kind of summed it up. It's like, you're letting this failure that you experienced kind of define your life, and that is the burden. That is the true burden. The greatest teacher is failure, right? And I thought that was just so insightful, so beautiful, and the scene, the way it played out, the music that was playing with it was like, that is my all-time favorite scene and all-time favorite quote in all of the films.
What do you got, Mando?
That's awesome, because that's that scene, that whole quote scene in between Yoda, the interaction between Yoda and Luke and in the Rise of Skywalker. I love. I mean, it was almost like a final lesson from Yoda, which brought back the nostalgia of not just Return of the Jedi, but also all of the prequel. I mean, it wrapped it all up, and I thought that was beautiful. Yeah, that's definitely my favorite quote. But I think if I got comedic about it, I have a bad feeling about this. Is by far my favorite, because it comes
which movie did they use that in?
Yeah, which one?
Exactly.
So it's funny.
And that's why I love it.
That's been said in every single movie, I believe. And everybody.
So Rogue One is the only one where they don't say it at all, because K2 starts to say it, and he tells him to stop.
Well,
and so that's why I love.
And in Solo, he says, "I have a good feeling about this."
Right.
Sequel,
So I love
the sequels. There was one of the episodes, I forget which one it was, but a person didn't say it, but BB-8 said it.
Right.
And it was Poe that kind of said back something that made it known that it was feeling about this, which I thought that was the funniest thing.
Exactly.
Pretty funny.
Right. That or Dio. I know everyone thought Dio was like a stupid.
I like Dio.
I love Dio.
I love
it.
Great.
I want to make a shirt of him where he says no thank you and he backs up.
Yeah.
Because, after I saw that, I was like, that's my motto. I absolutely love his approach to life.
Yeah, I like Dio. Squeaky wheel.
Right.
Yeah, he was great.
What you got?
Oh, there you go. He made an appearance.
Right.
What you got, Chris?
All right. What I got, I mean, it's kind of fucking stupid, but what the fuck? You guys want to guess?
Nope. We want you to tell us.
I have a bad feeling about this.
It's a good one.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
I love you.
Okay. Yeah. I love you. I know.
I know.
That's a great one. I mean, that wasn't even
Yeah.
set up. I mean, everybody knows that that's not what the line was, but I
It
mean,
was scripted, right? It wasn't even scripted. Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, Han just being his
Yep.
swagger self.
I love how they reverse the roles in Return of the Jedi,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Where Han says it to her, and she's like, "I know."
Fun.
Yeah.
Fucking Ford was just like,
Right.
oh, I want to be dead at the end of this fucking movie. Like,
Yeah, Harrison Ford never really dug being Han Solo. You know, that's so. I don't know, like that's a role of a lifetime. But
Yeah. That or Indiana Jones.
put
yeah,
carbonite and we'll be done with it.
hmm
I saw him. Harrison Ford got some award a couple of years back, and when he came on stage, they played the Indiana Jones song, and he's like, "That goddamn song follows me everywhere." He's like, I went into. Well, he said it follows me everywhere. He's like, when I went in to get a colonoscopy, and they were playing the song. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, no, I can imagine he's one of those salty old guys.
Yeah.
I think
Pretty
he's
annoying,
salty.
I don't want to see the boulder coming out of that cave.
Ugh.
Right.
I mean, oh,
So, yeah, I mean, I said my corny, funny one. And obviously the classic that I like is the do or do not, there is no try. Classic, of course, for Yoda.
Right.
And then I also like Ahsoka, I am no Jedi. Like, when she left, I mean, it was
Yeah,
such a
Yeah.
bold quote, like, from her. And, yeah,
Right.
she's just... Yeah. You guys got anything else? This was a long one. I gotta be up in like 4 hours, so I think I'm gonna go get some sleep. But
Right.
yeah, I think that was fun. I mean, it was definitely a lot of our list was kind of somewhat right there with everybody else for the most part, except A New Hope and on the
Yeah.
opposite. But for the most
we
part,
kind of met in the middle, though.
yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I kind of left some things out.
Yeah, your list was a little incomplete.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so this was a great episode. We do this every Thursday night for whoever's tuning in for the first time at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, we just kind of roll with whatever we come up with while there's no shows or anything going on. So we'll be back here next Thursday, same time, same place. I just realized too when we went live that I never uploaded the last episode up to Apple Podcasts, so we're gonna get another twofer.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait,
There you go.
for
For
whoever
one.
wants to listen to it on Apple Podcasts, but it is on YouTube, so check us out on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, I mean, you don't have to pay anything; just hit the red button. Same with our page, Sabak with the Misfits. We are going to be more active with that. I apologize trying to run that and the 3 other pages, but we're going to get it going. But yeah, Apple Podcasts, Sabak with the Misfits, Instagram, same, and YouTube. You can follow George Golden Trooper on Instagram. You got Manda Who Reads, and you got Darkstar Chris, and then he's also Chris Forsyth on YouTube. He does a bunch of unboxings and just kind of random whatever happens. So subscribe to him too. And then we'll be back here next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, everybody. Great night. Great episode. See you guys.
Fantastic.